Hello, everyone. From raging hurricanes and deadly floods to devastating earthquakes, nature's power can reduce everything to dust in an instant. These terrifying moments serve as both a warning and a reminder of humanity's fragility against the forces of the earth. Let's dive into some of the most intense and unforgettable natural disasters right now. A terrifying avalanche struck Ajax Peak, Colorado, unleashing tons of snow and ice at a terrifying speed. Within seconds, an entire region was swallowed by a blinding white mass, consuming everything in its way. Those present could do nothing but hold their breath and pray as nature unleashed its fury. A catastrophic landslide erupted on the morning of July 9th on the Badrinath Highway when a section of the hillside suddenly gave way, sending tons of earth and rock crashing onto the road below. Vehicles scrambled to escape, while onlookers could only watch in helpless terror as the mountain collapsed. In the blink of an eye, this crucial roadway was buried under a mountain of debris. The road in Serdang, already weakened after days of heavy rain, suddenly gave way while people were still observing. A section of the road collapsed, dragging multiple cars and motorcycles into a deep, mud-filled pit. Centuries of silent erosion have gradually weakened the iconic white cliffs of Dover. Then, this afternoon, a large section of the cliff unexpectedly collapsed into the sea, sending a massive water column soaring into the sky. A sight both majestic and heartbreaking, reminding us that no matter how beautiful nature is, it always holds unpredictable shifts. A violent storm swept through South Carolina, leaving behind a scene of chaos and destruction. Howling winds tore through everything in their path, ripping down fences, uprooting trees, and tearing off rooftops. Residents were left in shock as they witnessed the devastation unfold in mere moments. A rare storm named Ianos swept across the islands of Kefalonia, Zakynthos, and Ithaca in Greece. Torrential rains turned the streets into rivers of red mud, sweeping away vehicles and erasing once bustling beaches. In a matter of moments, nature changed everything. A catastrophic flash flood in Colorado engulfed everything in its path, sweeping away an entire vehicle in the raging current. The murky floodwaters surged across the road, turning everything into a nightmarish sea of mud and debris. A heart-stopping moment captured as a rock slide occurred just inches ahead of a moving vehicle on a treacherous mountain road. A cloud of white dust rose as debris tumbled onto the pavement, signaling the imminent danger. This could have been triggered by a recent earthquake or prolonged heavy rains, weakening the mountainside and causing the ground to collapse without warning. A catastrophic landslide has completely paralyzed the Tooting-Yinkyong route at Howamore, Upper Siang District. Tons of rock and soil tumbled down the mountainside, blocking traffic and posing a severe threat to anyone traveling along this crucial roadway. A terrifying moment unfolded as a massive landslide struck a mountain road, sending a torrent of rocks and dust plunging into a deep ravine. One vehicle appeared to be swept away by the cascading debris, while others had come to a halt, seemingly aware of the looming disaster. An awe-inspiring scene captured the moment a gigantic chunk of ice calved from a glacier and crashed into the water. generating a towering cloud of white mist and massive waves. This natural phenomenon is common in polar regions and areas with large glaciers. However, the frequency of such events is rising due to climate change, as rising global temperatures accelerate glacial melting at an alarming rate. A chilling video recorded the terrifying moment of a massive avalanche in Sarbal, Sunmarg, Jammu, and Kashmir, India on February 8, 2024. A colossal snow cloud thundered down the mountainside at incredible speed, engulfing everything in its path. Avalanches like these typically occur due to the accumulation of thick snow on steep slopes, triggered by sudden weather changes or human activities. This is a flash flood that erupted suddenly after a heavy downpour, showcasing the terrifying power of nature's wrath. The murky, fast-moving water carries mud and debris, posing a severe threat to downstream areas if proper flood control systems are not in place. A dramatic video captures the heart-stopping moment when a massive wave unexpectedly surges through the streets. A person holding an umbrella appears caught off guard as the raging floodwaters rush in behind them. A horrifying scene unfolds as a bridge is swept away by raging floodwaters, leaving onlookers in shock. The river's rapidly rising water level and powerful currents cause a section of the bridge to collapse, endangering anyone still near the danger zone. A massive ice chunk from the Perito Moreno Glacier in Patagonia suddenly broke off, creating a breathtaking yet terrifying spectacle. Enormous ice slabs collapsed into the water with a thunderous roar, sending powerful waves rippling across the lake. Nature showcased its absolute power, a stark reminder that nothing can stand in the way of its relentless change. Kilauea, one of the world's most active volcanoes, is intensifying its activity due to rising magma pressure. Molten lava cascades down the slopes, incinerating vegetation, destroying roads, and threatening homes, while toxic sulfur dioxide gas spreads, endangering public health. Authorities have been forced to evacuate residents from hazardous areas. The ecosystem faces devastating destruction, and although the lava creates new land, the recovery process will take decades. The torrential rains brought by Typhoon Trami have triggered devastating flash floods and landslides, burying entire areas under mud, paralyzing transportation, and causing severe damage. Panic-stricken residents scramble to evacuate while rescue teams struggle to reach the affected zones. With relentless rainfall continuing, can the Philippines withstand the increasingly brutal forces of nature? On October 19, 2024, a sudden landslide struck the Bournemouth coastline in the United Kingdom, creating a haunting spectacle. Massive chunks of earth and rock collapsed from the cliffside, triggering a chain reaction of terrain crumbling down. A thick cloud of dust rose into the air, engulfing a vast area. A terrifying avalanche struck the Kaskar Mountains in Rize, Turkey, following heavy rainfall. Snow cascaded down from the peak at an astonishing speed, carrying rocks and ice in its wake, creating a haunting spectacle. Once again, nature proves its unpredictable and destructive power. A massive landslide occurred on the Pamir Highway, sending earth and rocks cascading down, halting the flow of traffic. The scene of swirling dust and rolling rocks overwhelmed the entire road, plunging it into chaos. A colossal chunk of ice has broken off from Argentina's Viedma Glacier, creating a breathtaking yet ominous spectacle. This event serves as a stark reminder of the accelerating impact of climate change, as ancient glaciers crumble before our very eyes. A bridge in Brazil suddenly collapsed as raging floodwaters surged through, leaving behind a chaotic scene of shattered debris drifting in the torrent. This catastrophic flood has severely disrupted infrastructure and upended the lives of many residents. A terrifying mudslide has swept through the valley, dragging rocks and trees down in its destructive path. This chilling sight is undeniable proof of nature's fury. But the question remains, what can humanity do to mitigate such disasters in the future? Footage captured yesterday at International's Beira Rio Stadium showcases the devastating force of a sudden storm, bringing powerful winds and relentless hail. The storm's destructive impact was evident across Praia de Belas, Menino Deus, Santa Teresa, and several other southern districts of the capital. A massive avalanche struck Colorado, suddenly cascading onto the highway and swallowing everything in its path. Thick layers of snow tumbled down at terrifying speed, burying multiple vehicles in an instant. A blinding whiteout engulfed the scene, leaving behind devastation and sheer terror. Hurricane Francine made landfall in Louisiana on Wednesday evening, bringing the destructive force of a Category 2 storm. Powerful winds and torrential rain swept across the city, causing widespread power outages and sending residents into panic. Nature's fury was unstoppable, leaving behind scenes of devastation that were almost impossible to believe. The fast-moving waters swept away the roadbed, creating a giant sinkhole that severed the traffic route. The residents could only stand by helplessly, witnessing the uncontrollable power of nature. A massive wave disrupted a wedding in Hawaii. Although no injuries were reported, nature proved its power in an unexpected and devastating manner. Hurricane Otto in 2016 was one of the most powerful storms to ever strike Central America, with wind speeds reaching 175 kilometers per hour. It tore through Costa Rica and Nicaragua, triggering severe floods, catastrophic landslides, and widespread power outages. Thousands were forced to evacuate as the storm's fury demolished homes, roads, and essential infrastructure.